We're also joined by today's winning car owner, J.D. Gibbs. J.D., your thoughts on today's race?
Good day. Good day. No, we really, I thought at the beginning of the day, I get nervous when Kyle starts from the back because it's going to be an entertaining ride to the front. I just said, what did I say? Pace yourself, pace yourself. And what did you say? You already had some kind of deal at what point you'd be up front. And so I was kind of panicked from there. But he did a great job. And Jason, you know, obviously Jason's breathing a big sigh of relief because he chose to stay out. And we've had that work the other way a few times for us. But I think that was a big deal really for Jason. That whole 18 car for us, that was a long time coming right there. And so really hats off to Jason, the guys there, and Kyle. And that was it was just fun to enjoy it with that group of guys.
Kyle, less than 2 months into the season, you got a victory in every series. Could have had several more. There's an argument to be made that you're the best driver in the best organization in the sport right now. Is this? Do you honestly think this someday can continue on? I mean, or what do you attribute it to? And do you think it can hope it? You know, you hope it continues, but do you think it can?
You definitely hope it continues, and I think it can. You know, we've got a great bunch of guys over here. You know, Addington over there on the Cup side has done an awesome job being able to communicate with me. Jason here, he comes to the races that I've run in the 20 car. You know, he's not a guy that stays at home. He wants to learn with us and help us, and I've communicated with him and Dave Rogers. Excuse me. I've got so many crew chiefs on my mind right now that I've worked with this year. You got to excuse me, but you know, it's just cool to be able to have the chemistry there between the two teams that we have here at Joe Gibbs with the 18 and the 20 on the nationwide side. And you know, we can only hope that it continues. And of course, you know, not only here, but of course on that Cup side, and you know, the truck stuff would probably take care of itself from there. Well, when I was driving through the field there, and Jason was rattling off lap times to me, I was just like, there's no way the leaders, you know, we're 4/10, 3/10 quicker than the leader. I mean, it was pretty cool, and we were still in traffic, you know, so I couldn't imagine what it was going to be like when we got out towards the front. So, and then when we finally did end up taking the lead there, and we were leading for a little bit, I finally thought in my head, I'm like, this is too good to be true. This is one of those days, and I know it. I can feel it. So I was about ready to tell the guys not to get too high on their horse and you know, not to expect the unexpected. But other than that, I mean, that last restart or that caution that came out and whether or not to come in and pit was pretty confusing to me because I've seen races be won by pitting. I've seen races be lost by pitting. So when I came off the corner, I got low to see what was going to happen behind me, and I saw Burton thinking about it. And then luckily for me, he made a move to not come early enough to where then I could go out and stay out in front of him. And then, I mean, we were the two best cars most of the day, so to have him be able to race the two as hard as he did, I probably owe the race to him, you know, and to Jeff. And, of course, just being able to keep our car out front in clean air was ultimately the best scenario for us. Well, I mean, the relief is to win here at Texas Motor Speedway, to be honest with you. I've gotten a second-place finish in trucks and nationwide cars like 3 times, and 2 fourths here in a Cup car. And it's just, this place is one of those places that scares me to death. Probably back when I was in that 84 car, I just came here about killed myself twice. So fortunately now I've got a little bit more experience and about that much smarter, so that much means a lot. And you know, we're able to win here today, so that it's pretty special to win in all 3 4 years in a row or something like that. I think it's I mean, I just want to race, man. That's all I do. I just go out there and drive what I can, and you know, to win is the ultimate goal, and to go after points is second. So, you know, there's a lot of great reasons to probably give up on me to everybody, but you know, these guys, especially my own guys, you know, they're probably my biggest fans and my biggest supporters. And the guys on the 20 team, they came up to me after that race at Nashville, and they all patted me on the back and said, we wouldn't rather have anybody else in that car but you. So that means a lot. And you know, being able to come back out here and, you know, the fans that have given support and have been gracious enough to stick with me is pretty cool, because it's hard enough for me to gain them. So hopefully we don't lose them. So that's what it's all about. But, you know, it's a good day for us and for them.
Kyle, earlier Clint Bowyer described the race as boring, and the discussion kind of went on to the tapered spacers in the engines. Number one, do you think the race was boring? And number two, do you think that, or what are your thoughts on the engine configuration and the way that these cars are driving these days, and does that does that contribute to whether or not the race is quote unquote boring?
I can't say that what he meant by that, but I can think to explain it to you a little bit better. Is that when you go down the straightaway and you get into the corner and you've got this tapered spacer, you can drive it in deeper. You know the car is going to stick. And when you have a good car, when you have a bad car, it's scary as hell. All right, but when you have a good car, you can go off into the corner and then you're right back to the gas and you're wide open, and your car is sticking through the corner and there's a guy in front of you that's just pulling away. You know, so I mean that's it's hard to swallow that, and it's, you know, you think about how you can make your car go through the corner any faster, and it's just like that's all you got. You know, so that's what makes it boring. And when you get into a long run like that, then it just, you know, you keep being able to just do the same thing. You just turn the wheel, you step on the gas, you drive off the corner. There's no chasing the car. There's no driving the car. And, you know, the side-by-side racing is a little bit tougher now because we're so relied on momentum through the corners that when you get side-by-side with somebody and your car's so free, you know, you can't race underneath them. I was trying to lap the 88 car there, and Tony he had a hard time getting by him there for a couple laps, and then I had a hard time getting by him, and I just had to let him go and try to regroup and get a better run in order to get by him quicker, faster, sooner. So in order to do that, it's just, you know, it's just a different part of racing now. And I think I'm not a fan of the tapered spacer, but they're trying to keep these cars slower than the Cup cars because the Cup cars aren't very fast through the corners because we can't get them to turn. So it's just the way that what we've got to work with right now.